I'm going to dub this update Balance Point 8 because there are a ton of ship balance changes that we've been waiting for a long time, including huge nerfs for this ship, that ship, and the most hated destroyer in the entire game, and some great buffs as well. But before we get there, let's talk about the new campaign ship, Hizen, which will sail into Tier 8 for the IJN. The long and the short of it, it's an Iwami with 12 16-inch guns, no torps, mediocre armor, agility, and AA, but accurate with good firing angles. It'll be a decent medium to long range sniper, and for those who remember this ship from testing just a short while ago, there are some changes to talk about, the biggest of which is her gun reload. It's dropping from 36 seconds to 33.5, still leaving it a little long, but not as bad as it is on PC, 38 seconds over there. Also, it got its Sigma buff to 1.85, the same as USS Maine at Tier 8, so this should be a pretty accurate battleship. It looks to be an interesting gun platform, and if the firing angles are as good as Iwami, this ship could be really fun. And if the AP shells hit the same as Iwami, Hizen should now have the second heaviest broadside at Tier 8, so keep an eye out for this one. Fleet battles are finally here, and you can compete against other fleets in 5v5 divisions Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday during the new update. Now, I don't have a lot more information on this, but I would imagine there would have to be some sort of map rework since 5v5 on a normal map would be incredibly dull, and on some of the low-tier small maps, it would be an immediate brawl fest. So look for an article coming up from Wargaming in the next week outlining more details, but I am curious to see how the maps are done for 5v5. Also, on this note, your training rooms can now be password protected, so you can be specific about who joins your rooms. No more backing out of a match to a bunch of strangers mouth breathing in your lobby. The Brit alternate battleship line is now in full access, and Tier 8 Duncan will be available to grind towards. Meaning eventually St. Vincent, I believe it's called, will be our legendary British battlecruiser. If you haven't given the line a chance, I'd say they're really fun, accurate but squishy. It's an interesting line for sure, not the easiest to play, but very rewarding. Duncan features 9 406s in a really strange turret layout, 25mm bow and wiggle torps. Unlike Hawk though, I think these torps are front mounted, which will make her better in a brawl. Speaking of brawling, brawl seasons are back, including a no torp DD version. That was pretty fun the last time I played it. If you have a strong sonar DD, it's pretty easy to mop up in this one. It is going to kick off with Tier 6 cruisers. In addition, there will be a new HoloLive production calendar with 4 guises that you can pick up. This is not for mobile at this time, but I'm hoping for some more unique colors to throw in the mix for the guises. Speaking of mobile players, for upgrading from Slim to the full version of the client, you will get the Tier 2 American Charleston. And for logging in 7 days, not in a row, just 7 days, the Tier 3 German battleship Von der Tann. Console players, I know you're going to be curious about this battleship as well. We will get access to that battleship in an upcoming update as well. One of my favorite collabs is also returning, and that is the Black Friday ships. This year it looks like it'll be headlined by the Tirpitz B. This looks like the Asashio B in the middle and the Dunkerque B. So very excited about this collab. These are some of the prettiest camos in the game. Next up, the second most hyped legendary cruiser after the Hindenburg is coming to Legends. Zhao features 12 203mm guns, 20 long lance torps, and a workable 30mm deck and upper plate. This will promise to be a fan favorite and a very strong HE spammer for legendary tier, so definitely get this one added in your bureau. Something else we've all been waiting for a while. You know all those super cool historical camos that you can see on the ships, but you could never equip or buy them? Well, they're finally coming to the game. There are probably 50 or more of them from Tier 4 to Legendary tier that you can finally have access to. On that note, if you have crafted camouflages that you no longer want, they can be melted down into paint. And this is great, it's just in time, because I'm probably going to replace a ton of permacamos with these new historical ones. Now onto the balance changes. Let's start with the one that I suppose I'm least excited for, Schlieffen. I guess it's been overperforming, so her reload is getting cut by 2 seconds, and the secondary reload as well. Little brother Prince Ruprecht is also back on the chopping block with another secondary reload nerf. It's not a lot, and I'm sure these ships will of course be fine, but I just hate to see secondary battleships getting squashed. Stalingrad is getting a massive buff. I didn't know this ship needed it. I always thought it was very, very good and very, very strong, but Huge buff, the biggest part of which is she's getting HE shells. It's been an AP only cruiser this whole time, but now we'll have the option to throw HE, which is going to help her a lot in what I thought was her biggest shortcoming, and that is fighting destroyers. She's also getting her rear turret angles improved, more shell damage, and is getting her HP reworked. Alaska apparently has been getting left in the dust by other LT cruisers, which, yeah, I could see. So she's getting a large buff. 2 seconds off of the reload and a ton of HP added, as well as improved 4.9 kilometer sonar. To balance things out though, her fire duration is going to go up from 30 to 45 seconds. Like the Stalingrad, she will be susceptible to getting burnt down. Shimikaze, oh boy, this one feels good. The most popular LT destroyer is getting her concealment nerfed. It's not a lot, but it is something, and I'm sure we're all happy about this one. It's easily the most annoying destroyer in the game. Stupid concealment with 15 nuclear-tipped torpedoes. I could load my grandmother into a match in this thing and she could likely get a dev strike. So long time coming for this one, I am happy to see it. St. Louis, probably the most unpopular tier 8 cruiser for pretty obvious reasons. She just didn't give us anything over the Charles Martel, a tier lower. Well, that's going to change. Her upgraded base gun reload will now be 8.5 seconds, so we're talking about a 25,000 DPM increase. It should make her more competitive. And while we're on the subject, little sister Martel is also getting her reload buffed by half a second. I'm not sure this one was really warranted in my eyes. Martel has always been a monster of a ship, I guess for good players, but I could see how she's been power crept over the years. This was one of the original tier 7 cruisers in the game. Neptune. She's just so dull compared to the Edinburgh and her battleship armor, and the Minotaur with her ship printer, 16 torps, and ludicrous DPM. But this update, she's getting some love. A faster reload and better detectability might be worth revisiting this tier 8 Brit light cruiser. Sumner has been broken since she dropped, and she's finally getting the nerf hammer. Guns, torpedoes, detection, all the way across the board, this ship is getting balanced. There might finally be reason to play gearing again, as all of these months Sumner has just been better than her legendary tier counterpart. Monarch is getting her B hull applied. And aside from the massive HP buff, I'm most excited about the rudder shift time. See, Monarch before had a 21-second rudder shift, making it the slowest of any tier 7 battleship. The new improved Monarch might give players a reason to save up 750,000 GXP for her. Kansas is getting a 1 second longer reload and reduced AP shell damage, and I'm kind of on the fence about this one. For one, sure, the ship is stupid accurate and the broadside's so heavy, this is a dev strike printer, but also, Kansas is incredibly slow and one of the squishiest battleships at tier 7. So was the nerf really warranted here? I feel like her incredible guns are really the only thing Kansas had going for her. I don't know. I'll let you decide. Let me know in the comment section down below. And on that note, let me know which balance changed ship you're most excited about. I'd love to hear from you. San Diego is getting a pretty big buff, HP pool and SAP damage to mention a few things. Mogami, one of my favorite tier 7 cruisers, again, one of the OG like Martel, has been getting overshadowed by other tier 7 cruisers, so she's getting a damage output buff, a faster reload, and more shell damage. Riga, the ugly duckling of the Soviet cruiser line, where you go from Talon to Petro, the most amazing cruisers at their respective tiers, with poor old Riga in the middle. She's going to get her accuracy buffed considerably and a faster reload. If you're looking for a sneak peek of what Hizen may be like, take a look at this Iwami video. These ships will be pretty similar, I would say. Otherwise, do me a favor and smash the like button if you found this video helpful. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos. This is Derka signing off. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.